Okay, boys, are we ready? This is part 40 fucking 4 of Chris Chan Comprehensive History. Thank you, Gino, Papa Gino. We're gonna just go ahead and get straight into it. I don't remember what the last one was about. Just too much. Oh, don't call anybody. Never mind.
What made her this way? What is...
Okay, already I'm fucking triggered. Like, we are literally 11 seconds in. It's not a woman. This is a man. This is not a transgendered. This is a fucking autistic lunatic. This is not... no.
It's the attraction. What keeps us fascinated? This is the story of Chris Chan.
Come on, Gino. You already lost a couple of points of respect here. I know it's 2020, but come the fuck on, man. Like, you're gonna say she and you're gonna keep using the same photo. Bazzbe's transphobic. Shut the
On
fuck
April
up.
2nd, 2015, Christine left her house early in the morning to eat breakfast and drink coffee at a McDonald's in Charlottesville before making her way to the courthouse to attend her second hearing regarding her assault with pepper spray in a
Got a
GameStop.
dick. Yeah, her.
Kiwi Farms users, Lipitor, and Hey Jackie Pie were also on their way to the courthouse to record their observations. They decided to make a quick stop at McDonald's and by chance encountered Chris. They took pictures of her from behind, and then later when she was returning to her car. Chris then drove to the courthouse with the two Kiwi Farms members following in their car close behind.
God,
They
it's
took
like
a video
asthma
of her
gold,
entering
but
the
in, like,
building
5 more
and later
years.
wrote their own accounts of what transpired. He just sat there in his car, seemed like he was playing a game on his phone or some shit. He sat in there for nearly 30 minutes. I noticed he parked in a spot with a sign that read, "Parking for judges only, clear as fucking day," entitled cunt.
Oh my god.
We wanted to go in after him, so we just waited in front of the door. From behind me, I hear a string of like 9 stress sighs in a row. I turn around to see him. He had removed the MLP glasses and wore his normal ones now. We go in there,
It's like
and
a
he's just
Bigfoot
standing
sighting.
there at the metal detector. He had so much fucking jewelry to remove, like bracelets and necklaces, it took forever for him to get them off. The clerk at the metal detector rolled his eyes at him while he was doing it. After he got done, he just sat down in a chair in front of the courtroom, but not in it. He was stress-sighing and looking around nervously. Anyway, he finally fucking got up and went in, and we went throughout the metal detectors. By the time we got through,
This is
I had just
stalking.
opened the courtroom door. He was coming back out, and we almost bumped into each other. He said apologetically, "Well, got that out of the way quick," and dashed out the door to the courtroom. This was like 30 minutes before his hearing, so we didn't know what to make of that. So we just sat down and boring court stuff happened for like 10 or so minutes. We ended up leaving cause it was clear he wasn't coming back. Must have been a continuance. Chris is definitely not gonna have an outburst though, guys. He's super nervous. Maybe that's just cause Barb wasn't there, I don't know.
Oh, that could definitely be
Her
it.
case was continued until May 7th. On April 4th, Christine updated her followers on Facebook with a post proclaiming that she was watching the second part of the 2-part My Little Pony Friendship is Magic season premiere. She apparently did not see the first part.
Okay, see, this is dead giveaway right now why you can't use the female pronouns with them, because women don't watch My Little Pony. It's exclusively for men who look like this. This right here, this is who watches My Little Pony.
Since she had to go eat breakfast and buy glue for her projects, but so far disliked part 2, singling out her aversion to conformity. She also expressed her dissatisfaction with a new character.
I like the emphasis of
Kristen
her.
updated her eBay account with a new item, a custom-made Sonichu figurine, largely made from a Sonic the Hedgehog amiibo, which was a special figurine produced by Nintendo, which could wirelessly interact with game consoles, such as adding a character to a game via a chip in the amiibo's base. She customized the original amiibo by repositioning Sonic's limbs, coloring over his body, adding additional features with modeling clay, and gluing on a Pikachu tail taken from a Pikachu amiibo. In addition, Chris offered a roaster
Imagine
version
what-
as
this
well,
fucking
which was
thing
also
costs like
seemingly
$20.
customized from a
Imagine
Sonic
buying
figurine.
that just to
Within the first
destroy
few
it.
hours of this announcement, Christine managed to sell off all 10 available amiibos, which cost $41 each. However, 4 members deduced that since she had to buy 2 amiibos to create a single Sonichu or Roasteru one, In addition to further customization with Crayola model magic clay and acrylic paint, Chris made a profit of about $10 to $14 for each figurine sold, before additional eBay fees. Kiwi Forum's moderator and former troll, Marvin, confirmed that Christine was aware of the low profits, and that she mostly made them for fun. Upon receiving the figurines, some of the buyers reported problems, such as Sonichu's arriving broken in half, or ears or tails coming off before the package was opened.
Oh my god.
Despite this, seemingly no one decided to file a complaint against Chris or leave a negative rating.
Yeah, you got a piece of history.
On April
Internet
7th,
history.
Christine made a Facebook post explaining why she chose to use Sonic's amiibo base that could transfer the Sonic the Hedgehog character to a game console rather than Pikachu's, and suggested that people vote for Sonichu to become a downloadable character for the Nintendo game Super Smash Bros., which featured a wide selection of playable characters from various video games.
It is.
In addition, she offered a drawing depicting Sonichu himself, promoting his own amiibo figurine, and talking about having fun playing Super Smash Bros.
Yeah,
This request resulted in trolls submitting parodic applications to Nintendo, giving their own reasons for why Sonichu should be included in the game. A week later, Chris addressed the recent Free the Nipple movement, which aimed to normalize women not wearing bras while out in public, and optionally freely exposing their nipples. She approved of their stance, while also countering with her own Braziers for Males movement. She hoped that more women would feel free to express themselves with their bodies, and conversely hoped that more men learned to be more modest and wear bras.
No.
Christine also attached a photo of herself wearing a bra. Her Facebook friend Kenneth Engelhart left a reply, stating that female breasts were functional and needed protection, while the male variant had no such need or purpose. Chris felt that the distinction was irrelevant. Her other friend, William Waterman, felt her statement was sexist. On that same day, Chris wrote a Facebook post concerning her reasons for why she thought that the free Wii U game, Disney Infinity, was mediocre. On April 16th, Christine posted a drawing with a proclamation from Rosechu saying that she picked the Metroid video game series character Samus while playing Super Smash Bros. Chris added that if Sonichu is chosen to be a new character in the game, she would in return possibly make more Sonichu comics.
Oh, 100%.
In her next Facebook post, Chris elaborated on the differences between Rosechu and the Sonic character Amy Rose, by which Rosechu was originally inspired. She clarified that Rosechu possessed quills on her back, a different hairstyle, was more independent in her character, had a longer tail, and that her breasts were larger than Amy's.
And I'm going to let you know, like, they're literally identical. I couldn't even tell you the difference between the two, unless I'm literally looking at a picture of them side by side. It's literally just Amy Rose with a Raichu tail. Like, come on.
Later that day, she made another post, commenting on the proposed public restroom act in Florida, which would prevent transgender people from using the public bathroom of their choice. Chris was against this motion, stating that
like, actual trans people have an actual medical diagnosis. They go through, like, actual fucking dysphoria. Chris is just a confused, and I do say this as a difference, he is just a confused middle-aged man who got bullied so fucking bad and treated like a bitch for so long he decided to act like one and dress like one. There is a big fucking difference. One is actually a serious ordeal with mentality of people wanting to mutilate their body and change something and never be happy with themselves, and then the other one is just a greasy man-child.
Transgender people should be allowed to use the restrooms of their opposite birth gender. She felt that some people might feel offended at trans women and trans men using the bathrooms, and that some perverted men might take advantage of the situation and disguise themselves as women in order to enter the women's restrooms, but thought it was unlikely to happen.
It has
happened. The next
happened.
day, Christine countered the claim made by a survey published in the UK magazine Daily Mail that Charlottesville, Virginia, was found to be the happiest place in the United States. She listed off some notable individuals that she felt were amongst the many paranoid, unfriendly, offensive, and rude people of the city, which included Michael Snyder, Mary Lee Walsh, every male police officer, and trolls and cyberbullies who continued to lurk in the area.
I can already tell you that
On April 21st, Christine updated her Facebook profile to reflect her recent change in identity, officially changing her first name to Christine and her gender to female. She reinstated that she identified as a lesbian and shared a post from the Human Rights Campaign supporting marriage equality. The following day, She shared a petition which aimed to free an autistic 6th grader who was charged with felony assault. Soon after,
Why does
she
the
shared
autistic
an
part
article
have to
from
be included with
NBC
the
News
fucking ordeal?
concerning two parents dealing with their daughter believing she was meant to be a boy instead. Christine left a lengthy comment, supporting the child's choice, as she understood the feeling he was going through.
Like, I really don't fucking care at this point. Like, I used to try to tiptoe around it because, like, I've never cared about offending anybody in my life. But I used to tiptoe around it because I was like, I don't want to get in trouble with my YouTube channel. I've had it for way too long. And I'd be very upset if I did lose it, like, in an angry way. But I just don't fucking care anymore, man. Like, let kids be fucking kids. You know what I wanted to be up until I was, like, 13? A fucking dinosaur. I was 15. I was still buying Transformer toys at Walmart using my mom's credit card. I was still playing Pokemon. I still play Pokemon. The point is, kids can't make these fucking decisions for themselves. They can't understand the gratitude of going through puberty and puberty blockers and changing themselves. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Because, like, you know what kids do? They don't understand the gender stereotypes or whatever. They don't fucking know. They play tea parties and shit. Like my daughter right now, and she's gonna stay a girl. She wants to change her fucking self when she's over 18. Okay, that's fine. She's not gonna get any help from me though. I'm not supportive of like people doing that kind of shit to themselves. Like, I'm not bashing them or anything like that. I'm not hating on them or anything like that. It just, I have mental illness. These people have mental illness. You got to address it. You have to understand that it's not going to be the solving thing. A lot of them are just going to be killing themselves after the results anyways, and I don't support that. I don't think anybody should kill themselves, but it is what it is. I don't know, just let kids be fucking
She recommended
kids,
to the boy to hang on to his birth gender, as it would aid in starting up a family later on in life, and encouraged him to stay in school to learn a lot of details and facts. On the 25th, Christine posted a drawing of Black Sonichu, also known as Blake, talking about who he would choose to play as in the game Super Smash Bros. He would choose either Ganondorf, a villain from the Legend of Zelda video game franchise, or the Mario Brothers villain, Bowser.
Everyone knows who that is.
4 days later, she shared an article which revealed that the Sonic Boom video game was originally meant to be titled as Sonic Synergy, among other scrapped ideas. Chris felt that if the game was released as first intended, she would never have had to protest Sonic's blue arms and develop mixed feelings for the song Sonic Boom, featured in the 1993 game Sonic CD.
So the arms could have been blue.
Christine announced on Facebook that she had 10 more Sonichu amiibos ready-made for sale on eBay. In a later comment, she updated her readers that she planned to get the drawings stating Wild and Bubbles' choices for Super Smash Bros. Finished by the following day, since she was keeping herself busy cleaning out trash in the backyard. Later that day, Kiwi Farms user Lucrid wrote that they witnessed Chris at Charlottesville's Impulse Gay Social Club, enjoying a show starring drag queens, and wrote an account of what they saw. He was wearing a sleeveless blue...
Okay, so like, as I have really no issue with trans people, like actual trans people, not the I dye my hair Walmart colors kind of people. I absolutely cannot stand drag queens. I think they're the ugliest fucking things.
Dress with white flowers. It looked like something from Goodwill, over a dark navy blue t-shirt,
I don't understand why they want to look like
and
Ursula.
normal glasses.
I know Ursula's based
Chris
off
hardly
of
talked
one.
to anyone, though he seemed to be really enjoying the show. He tipped all of the performers. It is customary to tip the performers that you like, so it is not that unusual, though Chris showed his appreciation for every single performer. I think there were at least 10 performances in total, with an intermission in the middle somewhere. He stayed for the whole show, which means that he didn't get back to Ruckersville until well after midnight. On the other end of the stool that Chris was sitting on, there were 2 biological girls. I have no idea if they are Christorians or just random girls, but I noticed Chris was trying to sit closer to them, and it looked like he was trying to listen in on their conversation without taking part in it. It was a little weird, but then I turned around later, and he was talking to them. When he left though, he wasn't with anyone else. After the drag show itself ended, people typically stick around and socialize. There was still music playing, and Chris kind of did a swing dance thing where he was standing, and his eyes were half shut. Oddly enough, the expression he made reminded me of how he looked in the For JR's Eyes Only video.
Oh my god.
The Impulse had become one of Chris's most frequent spots, attending the venue almost every weekend. On May 5th, Chris posted the Super Smash Bros. Character choices for 2 of her Sonichu characters. while Sonichu would play as the eponymous Donkey Kong or Diddy Kong, while Bubbles Rosechu would take the Mario character Peach. She then signed and shared a petition aiming to induct musician Melissa Etheridge into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. On May 7th, Christine attended her scheduled court hearing in Charlottesville. Kiwi Farms user Lipitor left an account concerning her appearance, demeanor, and the general goings-on of the hearing. It was a Girl Scout, green/teal color, and cut, worn over a white t-shirt. The cut was just above the knees. Christian wore dirty old sneakers with old gym socks with this. He also had a matching hat that was the same color as his dress. You could tell by his face that he thought he looked cute as shit while wearing that hat, but he looked like a fucking moron. Christian sat near the front with his back to the side wall so he could scope everyone in there out. Saw him lock eyes on some dude and pull his phone out and text someone. You're not allowed to have phones with cameras, so he had a flip phone with him. It took fucking hours for them to finally get to his case. When they finally did, he got very nervous. They kept calling him by both male and female pronouns at different times. They called him Chris/Christian/Christine, and a couple of times Crystal. I know Crystal is his daughter, but apparently the judge accidentally called him that a few times, and I was in no position to correct the man. Christian didn't seem fazed by any of this, and went with whatever name/pronoun used at the time. They talked forever, and it was mostly just establishing what happened and what the charge was. So it was hard to hear, so the next part is a bit speculative. It sounded like the reason for the continuance was because they wanted Christian to seek a shrink/counselor/whatever,
I don't know
so
why
they
he
could do
hasn't
a
been
mental
forced to
health
do that
plea.
yet.
They wanted him to go like right after the court too. He seemed to agree to this at the time. On the way out, my field agent was confronted by some lady. She asked the field agent what they were doing there and what their name was. She said she was a reporter. My field agent was like, "Yeah, I'm not telling you that." She shifted tone and said she just wanted to buy my field agent a cup of coffee and hear his story. She wanted to know why a community of people on the internet literally document everything in his life. An interview was declined. The case was given another continuance, with the next hearing scheduled for June 11th. I do think it's kind of cool he's got his
license plate like that.
On May 12th, Christine uploaded a few new photos of herself, giving flirty poses for the mirror. Kim Wilson left a comment, revealing that Chris had been taking hormones to aid her transition. The new photos and hormone revelation were discussed in a thread on Kiwi Farms, which Chris referenced in a Facebook comment, writing that Farms user, Cat Party, had correctly guessed her bra cup size as a D and asked Cat Party to enjoy her cookies, giving him the pet name Sugar. Kenneth then wrote a comment, warning her that taking female hormones can cause serious health complications. Another Facebook friend, Rowan Dunstan, asked her to talk to a medical professional concerning her use of hormones, to which Chris replied that she had already discussed the matter with a doctor, who approved of her treatment.
What about your health?
A day later, she posted a photo on her Braziers for Males Facebook page of herself.
Now, why did you do that? I mean, I'm glad you did, because I don't want to look at this man naked any more than I had to the last year and a half I've done this. 2 years. It's been like 2 years since I've been doing this. Holy fuck. But now, why did you block this out? It doesn't matter if he goes into become a woman. Their tits are way different than our tits. Like, women tits are literally a completely different thing.
Shirtless, with her nipples covered up by heart-shaped pasties. In the accompanying text, she boasted that her breast size had increased from Betty B's to Daria D's. On May 13th, Chris wrote a post targeting possible friends with benefits.
Rest in peace,
"Hey y'all,
Bob Chandler.
This post for my new women friends who I have had the pleasure meeting lately. My main focus has been on being friends, and I will continue to honor and respect y'all as such. But I am also looking for friends with benefits.
Nobody's gonna touch
I will not personally push it. It is your call. I will still be your friend regardless.
That's
to be direct,
true.
I'm open to all women, straight, bi, and lesbian.
Unless they're black.
In fact, while I am fairly educated about tribadism and abreast with theories, I would appreciate some experience with a lesbian or two who knows what she likes to enlighten me better, including on sensual massage and all that. I understand how my born part, shall we say, would offend, and Charlottesville is a small city, which is why I am posting this note online. A friend can be referred to me as well. My DQ friends can help me there as well, please. On my giving you all each my contact card, y'all know how to contact me directly. Facebook messages, texting, and emails are highly recommended. You may telephone me as well, but please leave your name and phone number in the voicemail, and I will call you back. Thank you all, and have a great and safe day.
I think I know how to get an interview with Chris.
2 days later,
now.
Chris wrote an additional extended version of her previous post, adding more specific details concerning her want of true platonic friends and friends with benefits alike. Soon after, she posted another advertisement for ladies, hoping that one would befriend her and then try her sexually. She highlighted that she would provide traditional intercourse for the straight women, clit rubbing and pussy eating for the lesbians, and anything else for bisexual women. Additionally, Chris could offer massages, kissing, eye contact, and lots of attention. On that same day, Christine posted the next installment in her series of Sonichu characters, talking about what characters they would play as in Super Smash Bros. In this case, Angelica Rosechew proclaimed that she would choose the character Pit from the Kid Icarus video game franchise.
I mean, I like the idea of
Chris
these
posted
skins,
on Facebook that she did not know and understand everything, nor was she perfect, clarifying that in fact, nobody was. However, she extensively read about the history of lesbians in America and learned of the hardships they had suffered. She wrote that friendship with women was her top priority.
I mean, it doesn't matter how much hardships they go through, they still got it way easier than men. Like a girl can have sex with another girl, kiss another girl, they fine. I mean, hey, you get teased a little bit, but you're okay. A man holds hands with another man, you are fucked for life, man. Everybody's gonna roast you.
And told all haters who had nothing positive to contribute to go to the left and far behind her in the distant past with their cruel ways. She soon after liked an article from the magazine Elephant Journal concerning how to master talking dirty in a sexual scenario. Soon after again, Chris liked an article from Playboy magazine on Facebook, which wrote of the medical benefits of masturbation.
Alright.
At around this time, Kiwi Farms user Pickle Inspector sent Christine a private message on Facebook asking if she was no longer interested in having intercourse with heterosexual women. Chris denied this, writing that she was interested in women of all orientations. Pickle Inspector then asked if she was willing to have sex with male-to-female transsexuals, to which she replied with a fervent no, since they were born with a dick. On the 21st, Christine posted an update telling her followers that her counterpart that lived in Quickville was also a lesbian trans woman and had transformed herself into an updated version of Christian Sonichu. In her new form, her shoes were different, she had a rounded feminine tail, and her breasts were larger. In addition, she noticed that not only did she have a penis, but a vagina as well. She asked Magi-chan to mentally link with her and examine her insides.
Okay, so I see the direction the show is going, or this documentary or whatever. Bros, dudes, homies, G's, subscribers, casual viewers, people who just tuned in, people who just accidentally clicked on this, hello. I think I'm going to have to get drunk the next time I do this, and I have been staying clear of drinking alcohol for quite a while. My kidneys were hurting really bad about a year ago. And I was supposed to do a subscriber special where I just got drunk every time this kid said, "You freaking freaks." Over Sonic the Hedgehog too, funny enough. But I decided not to do it because I didn't know if I could, if I should. And now I'm kind of like, maybe I'm gonna have to do it because I can't do this anymore.
He told her that she had a fully developed uterus, ovaries, and even some ovium. She had an idea, which concerned her changing back into her human form to extract some of her essence, and then changing back into Christian Sonichu to insert her essence into herself. After a brief battle with Count Graduon, she was examined in a hospital to discover that she had impregnated herself. 2 weeks later, she laid a single egg, after which time she transformed back into the human form of Christine. After another 3 weeks, the egg hatched, containing twins, a Sonny and a Rosie. She named them Russell and Cynthia, and they both grew up healthy without any birth defects, not even autism. The post came attached with a new drawing depicting the previous version of Christian Sonichu, transitioning into her current form, and a few photos of a new amiibo fashioned to look like Christian Sonichu. Chris planned to include this story into the wider canon of her Sonichu storyline. Rowan left a comment, asking if her Sonichu form should instead be a Rosechu, since she had transitioned into a woman.
Hey, fair
Christine
point.
replied that she chose to maintain the name Christian Sonichu, though she later considered changing it to Chrissy-chan Rosechu.
Oh my
On May
fucking
23rd,
god.
Christine posted answers to some questions, which were asked in a video from the BBC Free Speech Facebook page regarding transgender people. She said that she always had a feminine soul within her. She uses the public restrooms of the gender of her choosing, implying that she hated urinals due to splashback and lack of privacy. She clarified that she felt comfortable in herself as a lesbian transgender, and that she set herself apart from the gay transvestites with male mindsets. Chris added that she was at ease in making friends with drag queens, as long as they mutually respected each other's wishes. She expressed that she would never go back to being a male, and if anyone were interested in seeing how she looked as a man, they could look up her name on Google and find many photos on the internet.
Many. And a porn.
On May 24th, she posted an image of a background My Little Pony character named by fans as Vinyl Scratch, and accompanied the picture with a written post describing her sensations at the Impulse Gay Social Club. Chris wrote that the music was so loud that it reverberated within her breasts, and the vibrations made her feel aroused. She asked her readers if anyone else had a similar experience, and whether science could explain the phenomenon. The next day, Kiwi Farms user Hey Jackie Pie wrote an eyewitness account of Chris's activities at the club. Chris wore a pink shirt, which appeared to be the same one in his Facebook post. He was seated with 2 young women and a man, who were later revealed to be in college. He initially seemed to be part of their group, but this later seemed not to be true.
So he just sat with
It wasn't
them?
clear what he was saying, but at parts he was very loud. He didn't seem to be socially aware of how loud he is or how bad his voice sounds. And his mood? He was immensely happy and having a very good time. I cannot overstate this. This very well seemed to be the greatest night of his life. He approached multiple groups of girls around the bar area and talked to them for about 5 minutes each. The girls didn't seem put off or creeped out, and were equally invested in the conversation. He talked to about 4 or 5 groups of girls before an MC announced the show would soon begin. It was like he owned the room, or was one of the regulars that everyone knew and loved. The MC was getting everyone excited for the show, and making several sexual jokes about hooking up, 69, cock, etc. Everyone seemed to be enjoying it.
At least he's
The
coming out
MC
of the
then
shell.
talked to a few people asking names and where they were from and welcoming them. The group Chris was initially with had a newcomer, and when the MC walked over, Chris stood up and yelled, "They're in college!" Again, I cannot understate how loud this was, because his voice is naturally high-pitched. It was very piercing when he yelled. The MC even then said, "We hope to see you on stage soon, Christine." It wasn't clear how he reacted, but yeah, it was actually suggested Chris do drag.
He's been doing
The
that.
dancer would dance to the song on stage, and slowly guests would reach out with a dollar bill, extended to tip. The dancers would walk out into the seating area, singing and collecting dollar bills and dancing their way through the crowds. Chris tipped every dancer. At the intermission, Chris made his rounds on more groups of women before resuming his seat. He was constantly scouting the area for women to talk to. Besides the college guy in his initial group, he never talked to a single guy. After a minute or so, he then stood up and began to skip and prance his way toward the bathroom at the front of the stage, but only to put something, possibly a piece of paper or napkin, in the trash. He then skipped back again. He was beaming with happiness and glee. A few minutes later,
Imagine if
he
did
walked
this
to the
earlier when he
bathroom at
was,
the
like,
front of
really
the stage.
Depressed.
While he was in there, a woman started dancing by herself in the dance area, as women typically do in clubs. She seemed to be with a group of people her age, about 40, and just wanting to have fun and dance. When Chris exited the bathroom, he beelined right to her and started to dance with her. He appeared to say, "I'm Christine," when he leaned in to talk to her, and she appeared to respond, "Oh, hi." Chris was very engaged in conversation with the woman, more so than any other encounter he had that night. This didn't seem necessarily unusual, because he was simply trying to see if she had any feelings for her, and was just aggressively leaning in. She was being very friendly in response too. It was only unusual in the sense that this woman was clearly straight, clearly with a group of people, clearly out of his league. She just seemed to play along with it for a bit. As I said earlier, Chris was
that's
immensely
nice.
happy, and it was very clear he was enjoying himself. But this seemed to be more than just a great night out. It seemed as if this club means much more to him than just a fun place. It's a place where he is welcome, where he can talk to women and try to make friends. A place where he can
I
even dance
just
with women,
noticed him
and a place
dancing.
where, maybe, he can meet
Holy
a sexual
shit.
partner. In many ways, I think it will become like a Manchester high to him. His happiness was very evident in the way he skipped to the trash can. It looked foolish and silly, and something a little schoolgirl or child would do. Also noteworthy, There were numerous sexual jokes and references of the X-rated variety, which I think he thoroughly enjoys, because he thinks if so many people there are having sex, so too will he. In many ways, his overly sexualized Facebook posts are not surprising given his history. We know Chris has always been interested in sex, but he probably thinks it's normal to post these updates because this language is so persistent at the club. It's also clearly
Makes
Chris's
good sense.
autism and or a variety of other factors that he can't tell the difference between when this language is socially acceptable, hosting a drag show, and when it isn't. Facebook. Also, many people seem to think Chris's presence must have been a horrifying experience for everyone else. It wasn't. While no one seemed to be interested in him beyond polite and playful conversation and dancing, no one seemed repulsed by him.
I'm very
Chris seemed to come off
surprised.
as a silly but fun-loving girly girl who is just so happy to be having such a great time. So while he might have looked foolish or silly, he was just so happy that people either feel a bit sorry for him or just seem to be happy he's so happy. Hey Jackie Pie then shared 3 videos they filmed at the club of Christine offering tips to drag queens.
See, drag queens are so fucking hideous.
And then enjoying a dance with a woman.
Oh my fucking god. And she washed her hands and the black would never leave her fingers again.
On May 25th, in honor of Memorial Day, Christine wrote that she was watching a program on the TV channel PBS with her mother, and that she had also watched the film American Sniper. She reflected on war, and that even though countries strive to protect their communities and homes, people got hurt deep, emotionally and mentally, and so
Yeah,
wished
war's
that a
not
more
fun.
peaceful resolution could have replaced acts of war. She then commented on her father, Robert Chandler, missing him every day. She highlighted that he served in the Signal Corps in Seoul, Korea, and made Korean friends there. Chris later protested on Facebook against the proposed name change of the minor My Little Pony character, who was called either Derpy, Ditsy Doo, or Bubbly Mare. She thought that changing the character's name to Muffins, after the food she liked, would cause riots and catastrophes in a similar vein as when Sonic's arm color was changed to blue. On the 26th, Chris completed an online quiz to discover what kind of lady she was. She found that she was the mysterious lady, a revelation she greeted with elation. On June 3rd, Christine shared Punchy Sonichu's choice for Super Smash Bros., Little Mac from the Punch-Out series of games, due to their common interest in boxing. Soon after, she posted that she had made 10 more customized amiibo characters and listed them up for sale on eBay. The next day, she made another bulletin announcement for her amiibos. On June 5th, Chris revealed that while she was making the latest batch of figurines, she had accidentally cut her finger with a pocket knife and had to go to the hospital to get it stitched. In addition to dealing with that discomfort, she felt further crestfall because no one had yet to show any interest in purchasing one of the new
The hell am I
Sonichu
looking at?
amiibos.
Oh, okay.
In response to this post, 3 figurines were quickly bought by unknown buyers. 2 days later, Christine posted one of her previous pictures of herself with an overlay, fashioned to
I'm a
look like
lesbian
the
trans
front cover
woman, I
of the
love myself,
magazine
and I'm
Vanity
damn proud to
Fair,
be one.
following a popular trend at the time in response to Caitlyn Jenner, a transgender woman formerly known as Olympic athlete
Okay, dude.
Bruce Jenner, being featured on the cover. In the accompanying text, she expressed her pride in being transgender.
Let's not forget that Bruce Jenner
The next
killed
day,
somebody.
Christine was selected to be the Pristine Tootsie of the Week by a blog critical of some aspects of the transgender community, Twansphobic. On June 9th, she listed 2 new items for sale on eBay, a 1990 silver dollar coin and a commemorative coin made to celebrate the release of the game Mario Galaxy. On that same day, she wrote of her shock upon learning that there were confirmed plans to make a new Sonic Boom game for the Nintendo 3DS. She pleaded for retailers not to stock the game and said that she could not personally go out to the stores to protest the game like before.
Yeah.
She then commented on the retailer Best Buy's official Facebook page, telling them to tell Sega of America and Japan to not send copies of their Sonic Boom game to their stores until Sonic's arm color was changed back to tan, and that failure to comply with her demands would result in attacks from countless trolls, hackers, and cyberbullies because of her standing as an influential individual. Later again, she wrote a Facebook post in response to an interview with Omar Woodley, producer for the upcoming game Sonic Boom: Fire and Ice. Bring to me, in person, the one called Omar Woodley, so I can tell to his face of my plights and troubles I went and had to jie through because of the sensory overloading, horrific arm color change that should never have happened. And then, let me kick—
Bro, like, you getting mad over this should be like the same reason, like, I as a Pokemon fan would get upset with the fact that Pikachu is now slim. Back in the old days in Red and Blue, I need to play that for my channel. I've been wanting to do it, by the way. But like Red and Blue version, Pikachu is fat as fuck. He had like a little white belly and everything. He looked good. He looked good fat.
Kick and beat him up upon further refusal to change the arm color back to tan in everything Sonic Boom. Damn, and
shit yourself
Omar Woodley.
Cash.
She later edited the post to include fellow producer Stephen Frost in her demands. Due to the news regarding the new Sonic Boom game, Chris proclaimed that Sega have ruined a peaceful, pleasant life for her, and in revenge, she took off the arms of a Sonic plush doll. Commenters commented that if she had purchased the doll herself, then she was supporting the franchise she was protesting against. Later that day, in response to a comment regarding the possibility of playing as Sonichu in the new Sonic Boom game, the official Twitter account for Sonic the Hedgehog acknowledged it and said that it may be possible only if Sonichu were to go through a drastic redesign, which would include giving him blue arms. A member of the Kiwi Farms privately sent Chris a message detailing the Twitter exchange, but she refused to believe its veracity. On June 10th, Chris posted a photo of her full collection of
They actually fucking did it. What an absolute fucking mad lad.
Custom Sonichu characters, and wrote that she was hesitant about putting up the other amiibos for sale due to the added difficulty in expenses and acquisition of the necessary parts and character chips. That evening, she attended an LGBTQ youth and family bowling event with other members of the community. On June 11th, Christine went to her next scheduled appearance in court. Kiwi Farms user Asper Hess was at the courthouse and wrote an account of what they saw. He was wearing an aqua blue outfit with matching eyeshadow, blue sweater, blue colored blouse with vertical stripes, blue skirt with vertical stripes, dark stockings. Everything matched well except for his grotty sneakers, which are blue but the wrong shade. He had a headband, and his hair looked the way it has in all his recent photos. He wore his glasses. He had his black purse with all the jangly shit hanging off it. He was reading something. I couldn't tell what it was at first, but when he stood up, it turned out to be the issue of Vanity Fair with Miss Caitlyn Jenner on the cover. He uses his index finger to help him read. When I first arrived, there was a middle-aged woman sitting next to him. I assumed she was his public defender, but as soon as the judge arrived, she went up to speak with the judge and left the room. Before she left, Chris said to her, "I'm Christine, by the way." The woman introduced herself to Chris and said goodbye, so Chris had apparently initiated small talk. A few minutes later, Chris did a little hand wave to a female lawyer who walked in, who returned the wave. He seemed to be checking out every woman who entered the courtroom.
What a fucking predator.
The main reason why I made this last-minute decision to attend was that he's been enraged about the new Blarms game, and I was hoping he'd show up with a sign demanding justice for transsexuals or something equally dramatic. Chris's mood was entirely the opposite. He was self-contained, calm, and collected. He was not angry, stressed, or nervous. He was not fidgety. It was very hard to believe that this was the person who just the day before had expressed a public wish to beat up Sega executives. He sat and read his magazine. At one point, something he was reading caught his interest and he said, suddenly, causing the woman sitting next to him to turn her head to look at him. He seemed somewhat bored. He yawned twice, loudly, putting his hand over his mouth, which struck me as rather self-indulgent and overly dramatic. Around 9:40, after a couple quiet cases, they called Christian Chandler. At this point, the lawyer who had defended the probation violator walked over to Chris and escorted him to the front, revealing himself as the public defender. He is young, skinny, bearded, wore tweed. He seemed like a good guy, pretty relaxed. It was apparent that the first words out of the judge's mouth was that there was a continuance. Chris asked a question. The judge said it would be dealt with at the next hearing, and that he should stay in touch with his lawyer. She and the lawyer wore big, patronizing smiles. They treated him like a sensitive child. Their attitude was, "Everyone is your friend. No one wants to attack you." In the previous probation case, the judge was serious and all business, because she was speaking with an adult. Here, even though macing someone is also pretty serious business, She knew she was dealing with a special individual, and it was pointless to deal with him normally. So Chris has basically already won over the judge.
Well, that's bullshit,
Chris's attorney
though.
walked him out of the courtroom, and I followed them out. They hung out on the front porch for about a minute to cover some issues. He told Chris,
Man, I should just go break the law and just wear a pretty little fucking dress and clap my hands in the corner and go to drag shows, play with Sonic the Hedgehog, and I can get
that for the next hearing, be a
thumbs
little
up.
early, like you were today. Another lawyer, a pretty young woman, joined them, and she was also all smiles. Chris complimented her clothing, and she replied, I like your color too. For me, the most remarkable thing was how much progress Chris had made in getting over his social anxiety. He was very eager to initiate contact with any pretty woman he saw. I think it's something he should be proud of. He's not the same guy who had to post a sign on the wall because of his noviophobia. This is actually a proven method for overcoming social anxiety. The more experience you have in talking to strangers, the easier it becomes. Of course, none of this will help him find a sweetheart, because while Chris is friendly, he's also immediately off-putting. He's instantly recognizable as a weirdo. After she got back home, Chris wrote a lengthy post on Facebook that was largely the same as the one she had originally made after she was released from jail in December 2014. Afterwards, she posted another message regarding Sonic Boom on her "Fix Sonic's arms immediately, Sega!" Facebook page, which was also copied from a previous message, telling her followers to order Sega to recall the games, take the TV show off the air, and change Sonic's arm color. In a shorter post, she clarified that as opposed to Sonic, her alter, Christian Sonichu form underwent a transformation to match her female identity. She claimed that Sonic had no reason to get a design change. She later posted a drawing of Magi-chan, who wrote that he would choose to play as the Pokemon Mewtwo in Super Smash Bros. However, due to the scarcity of the Mewtwo amiibo, Christine had resorted to using the character chip and base of the Earthbound character Ness due to his psychic powers for the customized Magi-chan amiibo figurine.
Probably for the best.
On June 12th, Chris attended a burlesque show in Charlottesville, in which she possibly performed as well as part of an audience participation segment. She wrote an account of that night the following day. Do you know who likes me? These women like me. I was at the Boom Boom burlesque show Friday night, and Zora Nova was quite taken with my audience support and participation. On stage, I acted a drown quite well. I applied Naraja lip balm with vaginal outlines, and I flexed muscles and booty. Not only was I awarded a couple of blow pops, but I also won the raffle, complete with a trophy and a tiara, among other most valuable prizes, and kisses and hugs were shared with great delight. And I also made more women friends, as well as met with a couple of other recent women friends once again as well. Thank you all, ladies, for a most fabulous and fun night, and for becoming my new friends too. She further added a post that praised the performers, describing their striptease movements as smooth and fluid, and was wholly satisfied with her first burlesque show. Also on June 13th, Christine expressed light disappointment after seeing that in the latest episode of My Little Pony, the character Ditsy Doo was officially renamed to Muffins. The next day, she commented on the meaning of the word pristine, which she had used previously in the small print of her mock Vanity Fair cover image. She wrote that, like the definition, she liked to be clean after a daily shower, but aside from that, she was pristinely not perfect. The next day, Christine shared an article from omgfacts.com about a species of female-only lizards nicknamed lesbian lizards. Chris considered them more wild than the lesbian bonobos monkeys. On June 16th, she pondered that since she still felt attraction for women, she considered herself a lesbian in the aftermath of her transition. Likewise, if a female-to-male transgender person were to be attracted to males, they would be considered gay. On June 22nd, Christine announced on Facebook that she created a new eBay account, Pristine Christine 1982, to start fresh with no negative ratings or selling restrictions, though at the beginning she was limited to posting a maximum of 10 items. She first listed autographed photos of herself, the descriptions of the listings for which were largely copied from her old Jesus Guides Me Too account without any alterations, including the archaic reference to herself as Christian. She later edited the post to state that next month she will list Sonichu medallions for sale as well. On the 24th, she shared a YouTube video called Geraldine, concerning a man's overnight transformation into a woman, and wrote about a story in which a couple moved into a house that was in a bad state, and the female party decided to be grateful for the things she hated, which made her feel that she deserved better. so they gradually began improving their house and turning it into their dream home. Chris commented that if it were that easy, she would say that she was grateful for her penis, but wished she would have a full functioning vagina and would turn into a woman like the person in the video. On June 26th, she celebrated the Supreme Court's decision to legalize same-sex marriage across the country,
which came
and
out
wished
of
for the dates to be
nowhere,
remembered as Pride-Dependence Day. Chris reflected that she felt compatible with any woman, and that she always felt like a woman, pointing out that she could never get into male interests, instead feeling more appreciative of fashions, makeup, shopping, empathy, identifying feelings, and looking to resolve problems reasonably. Kim Wilson interjected in the comments, writing that Christine was not compatible with straight women, since she was a lesbian, while William Waterman questioned the meaning of the word Pride-Dependence. On July 2nd, Christine entered a competition called Summer at GameStop, which called on gamers to share their stories of building personal relationships through playing video games. She elaborated on her intentions in a Facebook post. "Hey, I just entered this thing as an ironic joke. Dig it. Happened to me more than once. Oh brother, yeah. Good luck finding anyone who has found actual and true love with anyone they met online before face to face. Too many damn fucked up fakes tugging at your heartstrings for video fails from you, and access to your Hexbox or PSN account for Disgaea 3 DLC, and a full game download of Burnout Paradise. They fail you for their lulz! Not to be a hater or anything bad like that, but you should verify any and all entrants, the actual identities of both people and their meeting and background stories to the fullest of background checks. Guess what? Everyone will lie their burning pants off, and your prize will be left unclaimed forever. I am serious, and that is exactly what I told them, straight up."
I'm sure.
Also on that day, she posted an image macro, which wrote of a heart being so resilient that it still works after being played, stabbed, cheated, burned, and broken.
Chris, you don't know
Chris
what
added
shit
that
is.
hers had also been soul-shattered, beaten, scarred, blackmailed, duped, deceived, and more by fake ex-girlfriends and trolls and cyberbullies. She later wrote a brief post, revealing that she felt good because she looked down and found that her freshly grown breasts fit snugly into her D-cup brassiere. Later again, Chris posted a drawing of pink lemonade in a glass jug being poured through a giant vagina and onto a depiction of Christine herself, wearing only panties and cupping her breasts in her hands, with her turquoise bra thrown off to the side. The text on the drawing read, "Pink fresh lemonade. So good to the last drop from the glass, with class." In the text in the Facebook post, she dared people to report it. In the comment section, Kim Wilson asked her if it were menstrual blood being depicted, with Chris answering in a vehement no, clarifying that it was simply pink lemonade, or alternatively, urine. Other commenters generally left positive reviews, including one, Jessica Quinn, who asked for an explanation about what was happening in the picture. Chris told her that she was being showered with pink or strawberry lemonade through a vagina.
Oh my god.
Kenneth Engelhart asked why it was being poured through a vagina, with Chris stating that it was because she was most attracted to women. The following day,
like, look, motherfucker, I like pussy too. I like girls. I got a fucking girlfriend. We're basically fucking married at this point. Ain't nobody pouring shit on me through a fucking pussy. No.
Her Facebook page disappeared due to unknown reasons. As she continued to embrace her new identity, Christine felt more at ease at mingling with seemingly like-minded people, a feeling of belonging she had not felt in a very long time. The gay club was a sanctuary, a relief from both troublesome and legal troubles still prevalent in her life. However, a change in identity did not largely change her personality, and she would continue to engage with life with a predictable attitude, for she still was the same person behind a different name.
So we're gonna get back into the dark shit then. Subscribe to Gino Samuel, support my boy. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will link this video in my description. I just like how I was like when I started off watching this, I was just kind of like, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's cool. That's fucked up. Chris, come on. And now I'm just like annoyed by anything that this man does. I will try to reach out to him on Twitter and maybe try to see if I can interview him for a little bit. It worked with Megan. Why wouldn't it work with Chris? Who knows? I mean, I like Sonic. We have a little bit of common interest. I used to make comic books too. Just remove all the fucking autism, and I'm not unsure of myself or anything like that. I am able to do basic things like just talk to strangers and not get shy or embarrassed by it, but you know, it's whatever. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, as always, and I will see you in the next one, in part 40 fucking 5. What am I doing with my life?